over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
Stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am lucky I am lucky You are my favorite song. I am lucky I am lucky same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and Speedy Talk is a program for the youth where we talk about things that concern and affect the youth. Now, today on Speedy Talk, we are looking at something very important, and that is parental blame. Many times when a young person behaves a certain way, whether positively or negatively, the first reaction people have is to point fingers at the parent. If a child is rude, if someone grows up and becomes maybe something that is not very okay in society, people say the parents have failed. It's the parent that did this. If a child is disciplined, right, they still say it's the parents that did this, it's the parent that did that. People praise the parents, or people blame the parents. So if a young person gets involved in wrongdoing, people quickly conclude that the home upbringing was bad. But the question is that always fair? Are parents truly responsible for everything their children become, or are there other influences that also play a role that we keep leaving out? Are parents always to blame for their children's behavior? Why do we always blame our parents when it comes to their children's behavior? Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? Why do we blame parents for their children's behavior? Anything that they do, we always say it's the children. Hello? Hello? All right, you can still call in to be part of this conversation and let us hear your opinion. Let us hear what you think. What is it with parents, or what is it with society that whenever something happens, whenever you see who actually trains their children to maybe start stealing on the road or start doing things like this. But if a thief is caught and that thief is obviously someone's child, people will say, yes, it's the parents that raised this person like this. It's the parents that made this child to be doing. I don't blame you. I blame your parents for teaching you like this. But most of the things we actually know are there things that were taught to us by our parents alone. So is it fair to actually blame the parents for everything? And if people keep blaming parents alone for everything, a child's behavior, everything that their children do, even when it comes to the little children to the young adults, then would we actually find the influence or other things that actually leads to those behavior, or we'll just keep ignoring them? Now you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? Why do we immediately point hand to the parents when it comes to children's behavior? Now, I would say one major reason, that I see why parents are the first is because that parents are the first environment of a child. People believe that behavior starts from home, so whatever a child becomes is often traced back to upbringing. But then sometimes you as a parent, you even look at your child and you don't know where they get a certain behavior from. You don't know where they got a certain habit from, and somehow parents are still blamed. So why is that the case? Are we ignoring other influences that we should actually pay attention to and then just blaming the parents because it's easier to do that? Call in and let us hear from you. Number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? If a child is doing bad, in fact, that is the one that our parents often give the blame for. If a child is doing bad, if a child is maybe even caught doing something wrong somewhere, people will point hands. It's because of the way that the parents train him or her. But is that always the case? Is it impossible for a child to actually learn different behavior or to get influence somewhere else? Does it have to be the parents that would teach the children, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, and then they grow up with it? So call in and let us hear from you. And another reason is that expectation from society. Many people believe that a well-raised child should reflect like discipline, respect, and good conduct. So when things go wrong, parents are the first targets that people have to point to, that people say, okay, these are the ones that are responsible for the way that this child has grown up. But is that always the case? Are there actually parents that are raising their children, intentionally trying to make those children bad? So why do we now blame parents for everything, that happens with a child's life? If that child is doing bad, the first thing that people point to are the parents. So is that actually fair, or why is it so? Call in and let us hear from you. Number for you to call is 09036485868. That is 09036485868. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? Why do they carry that blame? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Asa Francis calling from Jade Villa.
All right, welcome to the show, Mr. Francis.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we always blame parents is there is this adage that say that charity begins at home. Now, the issue is we know who is actually our own better than the society. Now, if a child actually is misbehaving and we cannot say one or two about that particular child, that means we have not been looking after the child very well. Like me, if you call me and tell me right now that this is what my child caused or did, I will actually say, yes, that is my son or that is my daughter. Because I know them, I know what they can do. So in a place where you cannot discipline your child well, and you don't know what they can do at a particular time, that means you have not been having time with them. You wake up 5 p.m., you go for hustling, you come back 10 p.m. and you sleep. If actually you are spending some time with your children, you should know each of them and what they can do. And that is the reason why we always blame family first for any other thing.
All right.
So, yes, that is my contribution.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis, for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon. This is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show, and my name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this afternoon on SPEEDy Talk, we are talking about parental blame. So why are parents always blamed for everything, for a child's behavior? Why is it that we always blame the parents? We'll say it's because your mother did not train you well. It's because your dad did not train you well. That is why you're behaving like this. So is it actually always the parents' fault? Can't someone actually grow up and then maybe be influenced by friends, be influenced by other things? Does it always have to do with the parents, or is there a certain way that this is connected? So you can also call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 09036485868. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Daniel Manchester.
All right, welcome to the show.
I think most cases, mostly like 90% or more of parents. It's most cases, no parents tell their children to go and steal. But when the child is maybe probably coming from school and brought that person that don't belong to him, and you keep quiet, you control those ways. Or maybe when a young girl, teenager, start dressing those dress, and you keep quiet. So all those kinds of things, gradually get to a point when you go to 18, you can't control that child again.
Okay.
So it's not mostly that parents that children going, but if you don't control at that initial age, like when I was growing up, there's something I was taught as a child. When I left my parents, I went to Lagos, and I just left. There's certain things I can't do, not because somebody was due to that inbuilt memory. That this is wrong, I can't do it. Even my friends were doing that, I couldn't do it because sort of doing it, I don't have peace of mind doing it.
Okay.
So there's certain upbringing that we give for a childhood. Society can't do it. Even when your parents are not there, with that fear, this thing is precaution of this, because they're ready to do this thing. There are consequences. So that thing will be in your mind. So that's just my belief. Most cases, because a child is way to a certain things won't. It doesn't matter who is looking or not. You find it difficult to do it when you are blocked that way.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon. This is SPEEDy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this afternoon, we are talking about parental blame. That one that has been there for long, where people always blame parents for the behavior of their child. Why are parents always to blame for the behavior of their child? You see someone that is even grown, like maybe someone in even their 20s, someone that is even grown, more than that, someone that is old enough to know his or her left and right. But then when he or she does something, they say it's the parents that trained you to be like this. It's your parent that did not do this. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon. My name is Big Sam from North Bank.
All right, welcome to the show, Big Sam.
All right. The parents should not always to be blamed for the wrongdoing of children, because if I would say that children of nowadays, they have one kind behavior. I don't know. No matter how much the parents try to make them do something right, they will still do their own mind. They have their own mind of doing something in their own way. So the parents should not be blamed 100%, because those kids, while growing up, they turn to cultivate all those bad characters. You see children like to walk past you as an adult, do not open their mouth to greet. Normally, when we are kids, because I was born in the 80s, yes, if you cannot look on the face of an adult, when you see if a adult call you, you will run and come. That fear is there, but nowadays kids right now, they don't have that.
Oh, okay. Big Sam, you can still call us back though. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this afternoon we're talking about parental blame on Speedy Talk. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? And you also can call in to be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 09036485868. Why are parents always to blame for their children's behavior? And we heard from different callers. We heard from Francis, and he spoke about how parents are the, first people. They are supposed to know their children better. So if you hear something that maybe your child did something like this, you should be able to tell that, okay, this is something my child is capable of doing, and this is something that he or she would not do. So if you are closer to them, then you should be able to know that, okay, I have to stop this certain behavior from actually coming up. Hello. I have to stop this certain behavior that is growing with this my child. And also we heard from our second caller, that was Kenneth, and he says sometimes it's because hello. Yes, good afternoon.
This is Bello Musa calling from Lebanon.
All right, welcome to the show, Mr. Bello Musa.
Okay.
Mm.
You know why parents are so they have to be blamed? Because they are the first idea, and they are the first people to take care of their child. Because if they didn't give them, nowadays people look after their well-being more than the children. For example, if someone has a goat, 10 minutes if he didn't see it, he will be running up and down because they know they can steal it. But a child can move out of home for more than 10, 12 hours. The parent will know. Some parents, they will hear until when they go to sleep, they will realize that the child is not around. So they take care. So they are the ones to take care of the child. You know, sometimes bad friends. You can train your child no matter how you train. If you meet bad friend outside, you can teach him. You can take another training for different form. But if you take good care when you see him with a bad friend, you can send him away. Warn him not to go with him again.
Okay.
Secondly, and some parents, because of the love of their children, they do not like to even train them or to hurt them. Even if someone try to tell them that this your child is so no, because of the love, until after the boy has spoiled, before they will begin look for help. And by that time, it's too late.
Okay.
By the time we are young, even if our neighbor, like for me, if my child do something, if he has an elder, when you saw him, he come and tell me that this is what my child do. I would say, also, it's not your child.
All right.
Can't you train him? Can't you discipline him? Because if the child know that if he do wrong, everybody can discipline him. He will be afraid of everybody.
All right.
But if you know it is only his father or his mother beat him, so he will not fear anybody. Only the father. And when the father or the mother is not around, he can do whatever he wants. But if you show him to fear everybody, and anybody can train him.
Okay.
So he will fear, and that will help.
Okay. So, Mr. Bello Musa, you said that most of the time his parents are to be blamed, right? So, do you think that to some extent, even the children themselves, like, can grow up and then take certain parts? Because it gets to a stage that, okay, maybe you as your parent, you have done your best, but somehow, maybe a child will still be involved in some kind of bad behaviors. So, do you think that one, at least some of that one, is also like the child's blame?
Yes, that's why I said. Yes, because if you see him taking at the early age, you will try by all means to see that, to guide him. Because there is a certain age that he will reach, you cannot control him again.
Okay, all right.
That's why at the beginning, if you didn't take good care at the early age, there is a certain age you will reach.
Okay.
You cannot take care of him.
All
That's
right.
why I blame them for the early stage.
All right.
But even if you grow up, you cannot control that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bello Musa, for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this afternoon, we are talking about parental blame. Why are parents always blamed for their child's behavior, for their children's behavior? Why is it the parents are always to blame? And you also can call in to be part of this conversation. Number for you to call is 09036485868. That's 09036485868. It's Speedy Talk. And our last caller, that was Mr. Bello Musa, and he said parents are mostly blamed because they are the first people to train up a child, because I like that example that he gave so much, because why don't you notice that your child is not at home for some hours? You're just waiting as long as he comes back. Some parents is just all about the safety. As long as he comes back in one piece, then some parents are even scared of their children, to be honest. Some it gets to that point. And also Big Sam was saying that parents cannot take 100% the blame. Hello. Yes, good afternoon. Big Sam was saying that parents cannot take 100% the blame, because sometimes it's not everything that you teach. Sometimes you see your children with something, or you see your child with a certain behavior, and it's not something that you don't teach your child. Okay, go and steal. Hello. Hello. All right, please move away from your radio set or turn down the volume, and then you can call us back. And so people are saying that it's not entirely the parents' blame, but it's mostly their blame, because they are the first foundation, like to shape the kind of mindset that the child has. It depends on how the kind of training that the parents put in at first. But sometimes there is all of that background, like it's a prayerful home, it's even a spiritual home, it's a home that is strict, it is this, is that, but somehow the child ends up, some children end up with some of these behaviors. Maybe they will not even do it when they are in your house, when they are still under your roof. They will not do certain things like that. But the moment maybe they are entering into university, and maybe even going to live on their own, you start seeing some of this kind of behavior manifesting, which is why I agree with some of the persons who are even saying it's not 100% the parents blame, because the child itself, you get to a point, you as somebody's son, that I've gotten to this point where my parent is not always around me, so it is also my responsibility to do this. There are some persons who are even caught maybe with a crime, and they say I don't even blame myself, I blame my parents. If only they taught me to do this, if only. It's not everything actually that a parent can be able to do. You can only try your best as a parent, right? But then you have the larger responsibility. And we have also been streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we got a comment from Rapizo, and he says parents are most time blamed because they allow their children to do whatever they wish at their will, and it's the responsibility of every parent to teach his or her child on what to do and what not to do. So what about when you teach these children and somehow when they grow up they choose a different lifestyle? It goes to show how it's not just on the parents, and sometimes you are ignoring other influences, just like Mr. Bello mentioned about, and also Big Sam was mentioning earlier about even friends influencing your children. So it is right from then that they are still young. Hello.
Okay, Big Sam calling back.
All right, welcome back to the show, Big Sam.
Yeah. Some parents are to be blamed too. Like I know of a parent. The father is a drunk, and the mom don't care about the kids. So they just live like that, grow up like that, with bad characters, following bad friends. So it's not the fault of the kids, it's the fault of the parents. If you come across this kind of kids, you will not blame the kids, the parents that you blame. So it's 50-50. And, some from the children, from the parents. So the blame should not be put on the parents alone or the kids alone.
All right.
That's my question.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon, Big Sam. It's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this afternoon. And we are talking about parental blame. Why are parents always blamed for their children's behavior? And if you call in quickly, you can still be part of the show. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. And we heard from Big Sam once again. He called earlier and he came and completed what he was saying, because earlier he mentioned the blame cannot be 100% on the parents. And now he is saying that it's kind of 50-50, because sometimes the parents do their job. It is now left for the child to grow up and then do his or her own job, like to grow up the right way and still take those teachings that the parents gave to them, along as they grow. And you look at other things like even environment, even media influence with social media even influencing some kind of behaviors that people possess, even personal choice sometimes, because people are different. And then we talk about even exposure to some kind of things, in the environments that they grew up. So why some of these things lead back to the parents, some of them are not. Hello?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to check it for you. I'll call you back.
Why some of these things lead back to the parents, some of them do not point to the parents. So it is now the responsibility of even the children. There is a certain point that you grow up to, and I'm sure there are a lot of young adults that are listening right now. So there is a certain point that you get to, that that, okay, I got the basic teaching, from my parents, and it is now my turn to take responsibility to be a good person for myself, not just because someone is going to pay credit to my parents, but also for myself. Because if you don't consider it like that, then you might never end up doing something good for yourself and also the society. Because what kind of behavior do we show to? Sometimes we say it's the parents' fault, but then some of the things that children learn, they see it from outside, and it's the way that other people also behave in our society. So that's it for Speedy Talk today. We have been talking about parental blame and why parents are always blamed for their children's behavior. We have seen that parents are often the first point of, blame when we talk about things like this. So it's actually a question to think about, whether as a parent or you as a child yourself, as a young person yourself. Maybe you've not become a parent yet, but think about it, because it's one that's maybe you might find yourself in a situation where you are a parent someday and you know what to do. So we all have that responsibility to make sure that people are growing up right in the society. And I've been with you on the show so far. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And also coming up next at 3:55 p.m. if today is your birthday, then Speedy Kids are going to be wishing you a happy birthday. And also up next at 4 p.m. the Speed Lane comes on right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And as you go about the rest of your day, don't forget to remember that influence is shared, but responsibility is complex. Keep enjoying music of your life.
You get business, you get organization. Abi you want me to hear you for radio? Oh yeah, now make yourself join us so that we can hear you for the Spirit of Light.